Hello everyone, my name is Maggie Paul and today I will be presenting you my oral history project. So the person that I chose to interview is actually my mother. Her name is Michelle Hatterman and she is in her 50s. She grew up here in Minnesota. She was a dancer most of her life, and as a kid she enjoyed baking with her mother. So, as I stated, she was a dancer most of her life. Her mother put her into dance at a young age. Also, when she was younger, she loved to play with dolls, which her mother and father also bought for her. Um, when she was in dance, her brother was also put into dance for a period of time, and he was a little out of the norm because he was one of the few younger boys that was in dance, and he was made fun of a little bit, and he got a little embarrassed. So she shared that with me that her brother didn't end up staying in dance long because of that. Again, she liked to bake with her mom, and she cooked things with her. And she went on to be a professional ballerina in her 20s. Some key things that I took away from this interview, when I asked her how much she thinks about gender in her day-to-day life, she answered, "I don't ever really think about gender." Later, when I was asking her more questions, she went on to say that her role at home is more of cooking and cleaning and getting laundry done. She also has a full-time job as well during the day. But a few years ago, she was a stay-at-home mom for 7 years. So when I was a kid, she stayed home with me and my siblings and took care of us and all the house chores. When I asked her if she had a lot of other friends that were either stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home dads, she said that she did have a few friends that were also stay-at-home moms. There were a few of those, but she said there was only one stay-at-home dad that she knew about when she was staying at home with us kids. So back then, probably I'd say 10, 15 years ago, it was more usual for a woman to stay home with their kids rather than the father. But I think today it's more of the norm for mothers and fathers equally to both stay at home with their children while their spouse might be at work. So Michelle identifies as a female. When I asked her what girly things that she does that make her female, she answered a few different things. She told me that when she goes out into public, she typically wears makeup most of the time, and she thinks that that would be something that would be considered as girly. She gets her hair done about every 6 weeks, but I think that could go for both genders. For example, like my boyfriend, he gets his hair done every probably 2 or 3 weeks, which is more usual than I get my hair done. And then another thing that stuck out to me was she said that she tries to stay fashionable by wearing the latest trends. She thought that those things went along with being female. So overall, I thought this interview was pretty interesting. Some of the questions she had a harder time answering compared to others. I think that through this class I have learned a lot, and some of these questions would have probably been very hard for me to answer before learning more about genders and gender roles. Like I stated before, she doesn't think of gender much, so I think that could have been a reason why some of these questions were harder for her to answer. But she also stated that she doesn't judge anybody for not fitting in with gender norms. And after interviewing her, I was evaluating my answers and listening to the recording, and I think she would fit in with the traditional role of a woman, being that she was a stay-at-home mom, and she still enjoys doing things around the home, such as cooking and cleaning and taking care of the house on a day-to-day basis. Thank you for watching my presentation. Please let me know if you have any questions.